It's Tracey and Noelle. They're gonna make you LOL on 90 Day Fiancé Trash Talk.
Hello and welcome to 90 Day Fiancé Trash Talk. This is episode 287. I'm your host, comedian Tracey Carnazzo, joined by my co-host, comedian Noelle Winters Herzog.
Hello.
Oh, Noelle, we're here to talk about The Other Way, season 6, episode 8.
Look at that. And just like that, episode 8.
Episode 8. Noelle, tell the
Trixie.
people what's going on your new podcast, Recycled, available exclusively on Patreon at patreon.com/trash talk podcast. And it's right down there in the show notes.
So,
Yeah.
Recycled with Noelle and Michael.
Yeah.
We just covered I Know What You Did Last Summer. We're getting
Oh,
some
wow. Okay.
very good feedback. So we covered Real Housewives of New Jersey, season 2.
Right.
We're covering right now Mob Wives season 1, but every month we cover one movie.
Wow.
So we just covered I Know What You Did Last Summer, and we're getting some really good feedback. It's 2 hours long.
This is insane.
Yeah. And I actually I've been very busy today. I need to go in the secret group. I see we've got a lot of posts about it.
Yeah.
Can't wait to read.
Guys, you need to join Patreon.
Mhm.
What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? Also,
What are you
Michael
waiting for?
Michael really wants to do, what did he call them? Recycled something. I don't know. Recycled Express, where he wants to do some mini episodes of True Life from MTV.
Oh, God. I know. I love that show.
So we are
I
going to.
love that.
That show is so good. You've definitely seen more episodes than me. Matt is obsessed with it too.
I've always been obsessed with that show.
I really want to cover I'm a Jersey Shore boy and I'm a Jersey Shore girl, of course.
Wow.
And Tracy's favorite episode is
The guy who got calf implants.
I think
True
that's
life of getting
hilarious.
plastic surgery.
So I was telling Matt that because he was telling me his favorite episodes, and I told him that. He's like, I fucking love that episode. Love that episode. It's a great
So
one.
good.
Yeah.
So good.
So-
Listen, other runners up, honorable mention. I'm having my cousin's baby.
Mhm.
Oh, God. So good. Guys,
My mom and dad are porn stars. My parents are porn stars.
Patreon.com/trash talk podcast. Let's jump into the pool.
Let's
The
jump.
Other Way, season 6, episode 8. We're gonna start with James and Natalia, aka Tata.
I mean, I really don't like watching them.
She is the kind of person where I look at her and I go,
Mm.
Tata. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's probably what her name comes from, not from her name. That's her nickname.
They're like gross people. It's gross.
There is something. Listen, everyone's off-putting, right?
Yeah.
There is something so I like Angela better than I like her.
Agreed. But I don't like him either.
I know, but I just don't like her so much.
Yeah, it's like there is something deeply wrong with her. We say that about everybody, but there actually is.
Yeah. So we pick up on last week's breakdown
Mhm.
where she is kissing her mom's feet.
I mean, she's making out with these feet.
Her dad tells her to ask James for forgiveness.
And I'm like, if she starts kissing James's feet, I'm going to lose my mind.
Well, heaven is under your mother's feet. And then if you're married, it's also under your husband's feet.
That is wild.
And then she goes, I'm not the best wife. That is correct.
Yeah, you're actually not wrong here, but like you're lying. You don't even mean what you're saying right now. This is BS.
It really is.
Uh-huh.
So her parents are like, listen, we're going to pay your debt.
Right.
And then you guys could like have kids and you could have healthy kids.
And her dad, I mean, her dad is nice because he's like, you're not a burden. Like, you know, like he's
Yeah.
trying to make her feel nice, but like, this is all wild behavior to me.
Wild
Like
behavior.
the kissing of the feet, the holding James and praying
He's
manically
praying,
over him.
yes. So he doesn't know why she was crying. We see in the next scene. And you know what? No one knows why she's crying. So she explains it very clearly.
Okay. I don't understand any of this.
She's like, oh, it's because I had to translate. And then my mom was talking, then my dad was talking, and then you, and I had to translate. I feel like you're pushing me.
Right. And she had to double translate. And it's like, so are you just like overstimulated? Is that
Right.
what you're crying?
What
'Cause
are you
Tracy
trying to
does
say?
this.
Yeah, I do this too. I scream to the top of my
Yeah.
lungs. I'm like,
Yeah.
everyone stop talking to me.
Mhm.
Yeah, just one at a time. Everyone, you have to hold the stick and then you could speak.
You guys should see what she's like at a party. I have parties at my house and she comes and she'll be like, sorry, I can't hear you with another conversation happening.
Yeah.
Only one person can talk at a time.
Okay, but one person's talking in my left ear. You're going to ask me questions in my right ear? Stop.
some people can handle that.
but I actually can't hear.
No, you think I don't know that?
Yeah, it's not like I emotionally like I can't hear you physically, not emotionally.
Right. It's the physicality.
Right. So she said that he's pushing her to lead the conversation. Now, Tata, I got to tell you a secret.
Mm-hmm.
You can say whatever you want. He doesn't know what you're saying.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, why are you translating correctly?
Yeah, just be like, oh my God, James said thank you so much for all the cash. And he wishes he can get me pregnant, but my thyroid hurts.
Right. He just keeps trying and trying. I just
Mhm.
load after load.
Oh,
What are you gonna do? That's how you
she
get
is
pregnant.
screaming and crying again.
Well, so that's the thing. It's like you just relapsed in front of my eyes. What is wrong with you?
Okay, so he doesn't want them to pay the car.
Uh-huh.
He wants them to pay him to work, but they're like, we're going to pay the car, but we're not going to pay you to work. So
Right.
can't you pretend in your head that you're working the car off?
But it's also like, just go home. Just go to the
Okay, but
States.
also, can't you just be like, okay, if you're going to be paying the car off, I'm going to be banana chipping.
But that's the thing, right? What else do you need money for? You're living with them.
Right. And they're like, yeah, that's what we said.
Right.
We said we're not going to pay you and that we'll pay your car off. So basically, we're paying you.
Okay, but also, could he not get a job anywhere else?
I mean,
You
what's
know
he
what I'm
going to be in
saying?
the spider factory? Like, I mean, I don't know what other options there are.
I don't know. Or she can't work. Like, why does it have banana chips or bust? You know?
Well, she can't work because she's the worst.
Right.
What's she going to do? You can't be a professional scream crier.
But I mean, isn't there like, I don't know, a fucking mall? Like, is there nothing?
I don't think so. Can't you like tile more of the house?
Yeah, I could say, I think you need a little more than mud.
Can you factory it out?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, so now she's crying again. You pushing me.
God, shut up.
They're
Just
in
shut
the
up.
hotel. Oh, and I love his apology too. He's like, I'm sorry that you feel that way. They're in the
And she
hotel
wants to go stay at her parents' house.
and he's like, oh, so you're gonna abandon me.
But he's also like, he knows that it's not going to work there. And he's like, yeah, it's just not worth it. It's going to come between our relationship. It's like, no. You realize you fucked up.
You didn't come there with any money, bro.
You came there with not $1 because you're a loser.
You know what? I would have put my $14,000 car in my book bag.
What did you pay $8,000 for with your car? That's
what
a
happened
lie.
to it?
It's a lie.
What happened to it? Did you leave your house in your car
Did
and
you
it went
have
on
a
fire?
Range Rover?
What did you?
$8,000.
Did you have a Rolls Royce Bentley?
What is it? Why was
Hybrid?
your car not totaled?
Guy, stop.
You know, it's like, yeah, you know what? If you believe that, I also have a bridge to sell you. You know?
He's gonna buy it. Well, he can't buy it. He has no money.
As my father would say, I was born on a night, but not last night.
Not last night. You think I screw my head on and off at night?
Tracy would like to do that.
I would love to do that.
Like, I want to bring my head to the salon.
I went I went with Kale last week to get tattoos. And she got a tattoo on her neck. And the tattoo artist was trying to find like a position.
The vein.
Yeah. She was gonna sever her head. And I go, Kale. And she goes, what? I go, I have a solution to this. And she goes, oh, what? I go, just take your head off.
Where's the tattoo on her neck?
It's like, okay, so these tattoos are the tiniest little tattoos. Yeah. It's like right over like here.
No, it's so weird because I remember her saying that she's terrified of needles now and she regrets every tattoo she has.
Yes.
That's why it's like, and now you're getting another one?
Yes. I held her hand. It was
interesting. Do you think that's a painful spot?
She said she didn't even feel it. And the tattoo artist said that it is the least painful spot.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, great. Now I'm gonna have a neck tattoo.
Great.
Tracy's gonna be like, go get a gun tattooed on your neck.
I was not the best influence. I'm not gonna lie. Okay.
No kidding.
Anyway. All right. So let's talk about Joanne and Sean. Her mom, Donna, comes over and her aunt Marilyn.
Yeah.
Her mom lives in South Carolina, but came to cat sit.
Right. She's gonna be staying at her house.
She's gonna watch Binks. Now, this doesn't make sense because I'm gonna explain it to you.
Tell me.
Okay, so Mama Donna comes over, right?
Mm-hmm.
To watch Binks, and she's like, okay, he eats dry food all day long, like that's just like the constant. And then at 5:30, he gets wet food.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, this is too complicated.
Right.
She's like, feed him one time.
Yeah, but then she's like, he gets 2 treats in the morning. Let him lick this off your finger. It's like, why are you writing this down?
Okay, but she's like, why didn't you just hire someone to take care of the cat? And she goes, well, I had someone taking care of the cat when you were coming to Ireland.
Right.
So now we fired the cat sitter
Yeah,
and
I
we
guess.
flew your mother in. It was cheaper to fly your mother in
Isn't that weird?
than to pay someone to sit your cat.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll get that lady back.
And also the mom, if you blink, you'll miss it. The mom is like, why can't he come here?
Yeah.
And Joanne says, he can't come here. But she says it so fast, you will literally miss it. I rewound it like 3 times. She says so fast, he can't come here. It's like, I bet you he's a felon.
Oh, he's a felon. He has tattoos on his neck.
Well, that's what I mean. So does Kale, though.
Kale rhymes with jail.
Oh, it's very. All right.
Wow. So she said that her mother, Donna, said she will not go to Ireland because he should be coming to the US to meet her.
Right.
So now she sits her mother down and she's like, we are married. And her mother's face twists up even more.
Yes. I mean, her lip protrudes more.
What is happening here?
Something bad.
She's like, 2 years ago we got married. And her mother's like, you don't even know him. Her mother is like, what about me? She's making it about her like so much though.
What mom doesn't do this?
I know. I'm like, wow, this is like lessons in therapy.
Yep.
So she had
Marilyn reminds me so much of Anne, hairdresser Anne.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah.
She had an aneurysm 15 years ago, and her mother had an aneurysm on the couch listening to her.
Yeah, I watched it happen in her. It started in her lip.
And it ended up in her chin. Oh God. So they found one aneurysm and then they filleted her and they found so many more.
Yeah. And they were like, you're going to die in 2 weeks.
Hello, Joanne.
You're going to die.
Oh, you're going to die in 2 weeks if you don't get open heart surgery. Well, remember, she's a psychic.
Right. I wonder if she pulled those cards.
If she was like, oh, God. Oh, God.
It's the heart card.
Oh, God. I'm going to make an appointment for open heart surgery. And her mom's like, why? And it's like,
2
just
weeks.
watch. Just watch. And she's like, well, you should make it in 3 weeks from now. And she's like, got to make it today. I kind of got to make it today. I don't want to say why.
Oh, God.
So she's not gonna. Okay, so she's gonna be there for 1 month and then here for 2 weeks, then there for 1 month, then there
Who's gonna pay for these plane tickets?
Her psychic abilities.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, do these tarot cards bring in that much money?
I gotta tell you,
that much clientele?
I can foresee this not working out.
It's not gonna happen because even Shekinah couldn't afford to do that every 5 weeks either.
I know. Well, she said that she's not gonna do it if the boys don't like him. Want to make a bet? She's like, oh no, the boys don't like him.
The boys don't like him. I have to go comfort him and be there for a month at a time.
I'm just gonna live here.
I'm just gonna live here without the boys, right?
Yeah, because their father wants more alone time with them.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of alone time, let's talk about Statler and Dempsey.
Yuck.
They get to their first campsite and they have to fill up the water tank, right?
I love that she's like, Dempsey's been doing this when she's in diapers.
Okay, well, first of all, she goes, I've never heard of a water tank before. A water tank. It's like a water. You never
I mean, Statler is not.
Okay, she goes,
the
quote,
sharpest tool in the shed.
She's been emptying the toilet since she was 3. Her mother was a clown and her father was a tiger. I don't know.
Her mother was the bearded lady. Her father was the barking man.
I mean, it was like a sick burn.
No, I know. It's like she's been doing it since she's 3. It's like Dempsey never had a home that wasn't on wheels.
Yeah, Dempsey's a
carny. She is a carny.
Okay,
she is a carny.
But with all this carniness,
yeah,
you bought this van. You asked what? Couldn't talk to the guy?
No, not.
Okay, let me tell you something. I buy anything. I'll buy a pair of scissors. I'll be like, how do we use these?
Oh my God, it's so true though.
She didn't ask how to use
She didn't
anything
ask
on the van.
anything.
You bought an entire house. You didn't ask a question.
You bought a house and you decided that you should have a bicycle the size of your house inside of it?
Inside of the house.
What are you thinking?
It's like a Russian doll situation.
But that's what I'm saying. Are you going to sleep on this bicycle?
She's gonna sleep on the bicycle.
Moronic.
Okay, as they're parking,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, do you think the first thing they do
Yeah.
is take the bike out and like chain it to the truck?
Yes.
Maybe they do. If they
'Cause
don't,
they
that's a
can't-
great idea.
Because they can't sleep with the bike there, I guess.
Isn't that a good idea though?
Yeah, it is. But it's like they're supposed to sleep on that twin mattress, the both of them together. That's crazy.
And then who says it? One of them says, this is lesbian times infinity.
This Statler says that.
Jesus. All right. Well, moving on to Carona and Inky.
If you guys go to our Instagram 90 Day Podcast, you'll see that I posted a whole article, this interview that Inky did with, I don't think he could get sued because he's out of the country for breaking his NDA.
Oh boy.
But he talks all about how they were just like friends with benefits and she was obsessed with 90 Day and she applied like as a joke and they were accepted and they weren't really together and they're not really together and that like it was more she was just a fangirl of 90 Day Fiance and that's how this came to be. So if you guys want to read the whole interview, I posted it at 7.
Okay, well that makes sense since they're on 90 Day Fiance and they're not engaged and they're not gonna get engaged.
Right.
Why did they get them?
She called him because at first he was like, no, thank you, I don't want to do it. And then she called him. She was like, oh my God, they called. Like, let's do this. And he didn't want to. And then finally he's like, fuck it, fine.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So she comes out in her dominatrix dress.
Listen, okay. I could get hate all I want. I don't shame people for what they want to do, really, because I dress like a moron all the time. Her tits need some tape.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
Sure, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the problem.
That's my problem.
That's not my problem.
Also, I'd freeze to death in Iceland wearing that.
You're wearing a dominatrix dress to run some errands?
But she makes it like this is what she dresses like all the time.
Right. I think that this is a little bit.
But you wear these costumes and you don't wear any makeup. That confuses me.
Right. Well, he's like, oh, stunning. And she's like, that's it?
She didn't like that. She's like, well, I'm done soft partnering now.
She's mad.
Yeah,
she's
she doesn't like
annoyed.
it.
Well, he's like, you know what? I'm going to poison you, so don't worry about it.
Oh, God. Why do they do this? Why do they always have to do this?
They eat some fermented shark.
Gross.
They take a shot. Do you know about this alcohol?
No.
I know a little bit about this alcohol.
Is this supposed to kill the bacteria in your stomach from the shark?
Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. They call it Black Death.
Uh-huh.
It tastes like, are you ready?
Uh-huh.
This is a very...
Because she fucking downed hers.
She downed hers because that shark probably tastes so bad that whatever the alcohol tastes like was fine.
Yeah.
Licorice.
Uh-huh.
Cumin.
Ew.
And coriander.
Like a taco street meat.
A taco licorice? Is that the worst thing ever?
That's awful.
Yeah. It's kind of like, so there's a lot of, in Scandinavia, there's just all these liquors that are just like these terrible, like almost like a tincture.
Yeah, sure.
And a lot
like
of
in
these
Finland.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Finland, they have salmiakki kasu, which is like disgusting black licorice liquor.
Yeah.
It's all so gross, but like everyone has their version of it.
Well, I can tell you this. This is really wild. So in the Olympics, you know how it was in France, right? Everybody's swimming in the shit river.
Yeah.
You're right. So everybody's swimming in this disgusting river. And do you know that they had all of the swimmers, all the people who are doing the triathlon and stuff, they all had them drinking a ton of Coke so they wouldn't get E. coli. Apparently, it like helps to like repel E. coli. I did not know that.
Well, I got to tell you, I could be a triathlete all I want. I would have been like, I'm actually going to sit with this one down. Or I'm going to fill a bathtub.
And you can watch me swim in there.
And you can watch me swim. I'll swim for as long.
People were all getting sick from the water.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting. So
I fucking sue.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got in the water though. I think it's
yeah, that's actually crazy.
Okay, so she orders waffles and she's gonna go meet his parents. His dad was born in 1940.
Yeah, his dad is ancient.
Okay. He said that
I
his
want
dad
to
is.
try this waffle too.
I'm
The waffle looks
so
good.
I don't know if you do that.
Okay, well, guess what? Pretend you're not. The waffle
I can't
looks
pretend
good.
I'm not.
You're allowed to think that something looks good, even if there's wheat in it.
I can't. I'm just too scared.
Okay.
His dad's funny. His mom's conservative. And then Corona is scared because she's black.
Right.
And she doesn't know if his family will accept him. And then she's like, oh, also my clothes and my attitude. Okay.
Right.
So here's the thing. This is a very immature thought.
She's very immature.
Super immature. My clothes and my attitude. So you can't dress appropriately to meet someone, and you can't be nice to meet someone.
No, but I see this countless times on these shows. It's like you can't just not do that.
You can't.
That's like Ashley. You can't just not tell Manuel's family right off the bat that you're a witch. You just can't. Yeah, it pisses me off.
Disgusting.
Anyway. No, also no Sarper and Shekinah.
But we have Lily and Josh. He loves China.
Yeah, he's been there for 4 days now.
And then they meet with her sister Juan.
They're going to a tea shop.
She's Espanol. Do you like that? Juan. Okay. So her family, according to her sister, is worried that he's like going to deceive her.
Right.
Then we find out she's nuts. That's what it is.
Yeah, she's right. She got married mad young
when she was 18 because an older lady friend of hers set her up with someone. It's like, oh, you got trafficked?
Yeah, you were trafficked.
And he just never used to come home.
You met him at the massage parlor.
Right. So now Josh, she's like, what do you do for work? He's like, well, I used to sell heating and ventilation, air conditioning parts. He's like, but now I cannot work. I mean,
okay.
Why don't you just scream louder?
But also,
why don't you have money? You sold your house. Why don't you have money?
Agreed. But why does everyone have to frown upon him? It's like he can't fucking work, guys. He just can't. Sorry, I keep cursing. I'm very passionate about this episode.
Why couldn't he come there with money? You sold your house.
No, I agree with that because I bet you he was in debt, or maybe he had to pay off his exes. Maybe he had to split the house with them. Maybe his exes are the ones that own the houses. Who knows?
And then Lily goes, okay, good talk.
Right. And then they're just like, bye. But it's more like, okay, if he legally actually can't work, why is everybody giving him a hard time?
Right. Why wasn't this discussed before?
Right. STFU.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on here. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. We absolutely love you. Go to patreon.com/trash talk podcast for more of this junk,
More of this junk. We have all types of stuff for you to listen to. It's over 1,500 bonus episodes now.
I can't believe it. Go check it out. Follow the podcast at 90 Day Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. Trash Talk Podcast on YouTube and TikTok. Noelle's at Noe Girl on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I'm at Trixie Tuzini on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. TraceyCarnazzo.com for all of my upcoming stand-up comedy show dates and everything podcast related, including our Patreon. Patreon.com, TraceyCarnazzo.com. I'll see you next week.
Bye.
Goodbye.